Hey everyone, it's Farmer C coming to you from the kitchen of the cabin at Green Heifer Farms. This is day 6 of Bizmas. Wow, we're over halfway there. I appreciate those who have stuck with and have engaged and commented and the kind messages that you have sent and all of that. Thank you very much. I know that there are different belief systems and different practices during this time of year. Whatever yours is, I am hoping that it's just filled with love and abundance. And if not, I truly hope that that changes. I know that some of us have lost loved ones. We've been having health challenges, the stress of the continued pandemic, financial challenges. All of us don't have functional families that are positive spaces for us. So for everyone, I really do hope from the depths of my heart that love and abundance is yours. All right. So I was thinking about what to talk about today, and I did have another topic I was going to discuss, but I felt that after the last video, if you haven't watched it, then please definitely check out day 5, where I am discussing staying the course. Excuse me, y'all, my foot is itching. And I have learned, there's a daggone ant. I have learned at a farm that if you feel an itch, check it out. Take this weather. Got the fire ants confused. So yeah. All right. So the last video was about staying the course, and I felt it would be remiss of me to not share some very specific challenges. There definitely are not a lot of women, single women, and women of color and Black women, right? So I'm not going to try to be so politically correct that I can't communicate freely. So if I say something that does offend, that is not my intent. And when I was thinking about talking about this, I said, oh, they're not going to like this one. But I feel I should say it, especially to other Black women who may be embarking on the journey of realizing their farming dream. I'm sorry, y'all. He bit me good. My foot itching. That may not be your experience. You may not be a Black woman. That does not mean that no parts of this conversation are relevant to you, or there may be something that resonates with you. And if you feel like, oh, this totally has nothing to do with me, you might be the very one who needs to watch this, especially if you are in the agricultural space, or shoot, if you come in contact with Black women. All right, so the farming community is very much white dominant, male dominated. No surprises. Mostly white men with land holdings collectively that, they pretty much have all of it. It's like what? 96% overall, and I think 98, 99% of rural land. So they pretty much dominate all of the land. And of course, legislation, the rules that have been played by for so long, the environmental space, the, equipment space. I mean, it runs deep. And the further you are away from that, then the further you are away from the ideal. And the industrial complex was being constructed. Black women were enslaved, and even in that position were not only being subjected to some some horrors that only women can be subjected to. They also are having to deal with what comes with sexism and what comes with misogyny and all of the abuses against the gender and abuses against the Black communities, all right, people of African descent that were in the country. And that's compounded because I can't separate my Blackness from my womanness. I'm often asked to in different spaces. And when you come into agriculture, which is a white dominant space, as a Black woman, then you have to understand that you're constantly going to be dealing with challenges and issues from a system that was not designed with you in mind. Now, I don't want that to deter you, because we understand that we're necessary. The world will have to remember Black women. They're going to have to. Until then, if you are a Black woman farmer and you're going into this space, you will be relegated oftentimes, or attempted to be relegated to a position of insubordination, where you can be in a room full of farmers and no one even asks you your thoughts or your opinions on anything. You will be in situations where I've had men come to this property and say, "May I speak to the man of the place?" Well, I want to speak to him too. Where he at? Who? I've had people come up and say things like that. I've had just downright sexist stuff, racist stuff, sexist, racist stuff, dealing with misogynoir. Like it's some issues within the Black farming community. There's issues between Black women in agriculture. Let's just be real. It can be a territorial kind of one-uppish space. It can also be, let me say this, it can also be a very nurturing and very supportive space, as is within the Black farming community. There are some Black men who have been just beyond helpful and tremendous resources, and I value them very much. There have been some Black women who have just come through in so many ways, even just sending messages to say, you know, I see you and I support you, and I'm able to do the same. So there is that. But then there can be cattiness. There can be, like I said, an attitude of territorialism, where it's, you know, it can be challenging. That's just real talk. It can be challenging. And within the scope of the greater agricultural community, I have connected with some very just phenomenal farmers of other backgrounds and other cultural experiences across the board, who have been very supportive as well and have been true resources. So there's that potential for that connectivity. And I think if the agricultural space gets it right, that would be an example for so many other industries. Because, you know, it's the industry that really puts some systems into motion. That's real talk. You will find that it's not always, you know, when you're staying the course, it's not always because you measured something wrong or you forgot a date. Sometimes it's some systems that were put in place to keep you in a place, and be cognizant of that so that you can advocate for yourself. And don't let folks be out here trying to deal with you spiritually raggedy. Do not. And let them know, because there are people who will be feeling some kind of way if you say, I'm a Black woman doing this. Like, oh, okay, so what? Why do you have to, say you're a black woman doing this? You're being divisive, or that's probably why you don't have a man, because you try to be the boss all the time. Like, you hear all kind of just whack thinking coming out of folks' lips and from their fingertips as they type so ignorantly. So I'll stop right there. I hope that this is helpful to someone. I know there'll be some folks who get in their feelings about it, but work through those feelings. Work through those feelings and try to arrive at a place of love and for some of you, some empathy. There are a lot of people who are they've been suffering prolonged empathy droughts, just dry. Just dry spirits. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.